Hello, angels. Welcome back to the Cosmic Tailor. If you are new here, I am Taylor, here to tailor you to your highest timeline. And today I wanted to pull some cards. And I just asked Spirit to bring a message, whatever message that Spirit believes needs to come through. Because today I already have two other readings planned. One that will be intentionally changing focus, and another one which will just be my little jar. I love this jar. It's so fun and cute. I'm obsessed with it. Anyways, so I already shuffled a little bit and I got one card out after asking Spirit to help deliver this message with integrity and truth, and that card is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords energy being upright says a lot. All right. Excuse me, because I've been following a couple of collectives of readers lately. Oh, the Lovers with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Interesting. Where the King of Swords has been coming out as this, I'm hearing Playboy energy, and it really is like that. The King of Swords lately has been coming out of the collective as like this player, this person that's like watching from the outside, looking down, not even looking within, looking down, and watching everything that's happening and trying to find ways to manipulate the situations and into moving in a way that is compelling for them. You know what I mean? And they're claiming it as strategy when really it's just devilish energy, you know what I mean? Because if you need to manipulate things in order for them to go in the way that you need or the way that you want them to, then those things aren't aligned with you in the first place. Anything that is for you will happen in a way that it's not going to happen easily, but it will happen in a way that is the least resisting, you know what I mean? And if you have to go out of your way to do like all of this stuff to like manipulate situations, manipulate people, change people's minds, 222 on the timer, you know, go out of their way to make things happen or to change people's perspectives or focus, then that isn't that isn't aligned, right? 234 on the timer. And Spirit is saying that them coming out as upright energy, it's because, like, even though what they're doing right now is very devilish, they, 246 on the timer, are still, like, a divine being in their own right because they are an alchemizer, and because I'm seeing, like, even though they're unjust, they are doing this for balance, and it's, like, it's so interesting. So it's, like, the integrity and the intention of the situation and why they're doing these things is not aligned or like true or good, you know what I mean? But they are doing it with grace in a way where it's like people can play it off, or the way that outside observers see it from a very baseline level is a positive thing. 333 on the timer, which is so interesting. And I'm hearing Spirit say right now, like, that's the only reason why everything is working out for them still right now, because they don't have as much divine favor, but they do have a lot of favor within the people that surround them right now. So I went to the dentist yesterday and they told me that the reason why I keep getting cavities is because I take too long drinking my sugary drinks. They're like, you gotta drink your sugary drinks in like 30 minutes. Can't do it longer than that. I'm like, oh shit. Sometimes I take entire, like, all day to drink my coffee. So, got it. I will do that. That might be significant for you. You might be in the same position as I am. Hold on, I want to turn this up. I like the sounds of the forest. That's what we have playing today. Begin your day with positive energy of healing forest sounds. And once again, no hate on this King of Swords character, no hate on this person. I don't really know, like, what's going on with that. They're going, like Spirit is saying, they're going through their own karmic cycles. That's why they're showing up as the King of Swords instead of the Emperor, 456 on the timer, or the Hierophant, or, you know, somebody of ranking within the major arcana, you know what I mean? I'm hearing you, on the other hand, I'm seeing Temperance, Judgment, and the Stars. So, and we also have the High Priestess that's poking out. So, like, you're kind of on this journey of, like, going on your own cycles of divine alignment. Yep, Seven of Swords in the reverse with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. They are on this path of karmic clearing kind of a thing, you know, like they're going through this entire situation of building karma in which they're going to have to clear out, in which they're going to have to learn from, in which they will ascend from, right? Okay, so we love that for them. Beautiful. Love that for you. Can you do it out of our energy, please? Hello. Por favor. Bruh, please get the fuck out of here. Four of Wands. Oh, okay. They want union. They want stability, more specifically, but they are craving union. Spirit, what is this? We're seeing the Four of Cups on the back of the deck, which in this deck, oh my gosh. There we go. In this tarot, this is what it looks like, which is very beautiful, right? We love this kind of imagery, but like, this is exactly what's going on. No, like, it looks gorgeous, right? But if you notice, like, this cup, it's not getting filled. It's like a void. And like, no matter how much it's being poured into, it's not enough. And that's what's going on with this person right now. It's not enough because it's not healing. 656 on the timer. It's not healing for them to be poured into the way that they've been getting poured into. They're not actually healing from the things that are hurting them and that are causing all of the things that people are trying to pour into them fall out of their cup. You know what I mean? It's like, I've explained this before. I don't know if I've ever posted the reading. Guys, I have such an issue with that. I promise I'm working so hard on that right now. I'm trying to upload every single video that I've recorded every single day, except for weekends. Fuck. No. Weekends are for me to get everything lined up and in order, and for me to have my free time, draw, write, do my other stuff. All right. I'm already working every day. But yeah, but like, anyways, I've described this imagery before as, like, think of it like this, like, even if you do have an infinite flow, right? Let's say your cup, let's look at your cup. When you were first going on this journey to be in this spiritual realm in the first place, if you are somebody that's within my collective, you are either somebody that has already gone down this path of having to learn how to maintain, clear, and fix your cup, your heart, your emotional space, your love space, right? Because one time I went to a psychic and she told me, a great yogi once said, all that never changes is all that never changes is all that is real. And the one thing that never changes is love. Love is a universal experience. Love is something that we all know and understand. And love is something that takes many forms and many shapes, but it is all the same. It does not change. You know what I mean? And like, for another example, when 848 on the timer, when you break up with somebody, when you're no longer friends with someone, when you're no longer in that like connection with somebody, after some time passes, all you can think of are like the good times with those people, right? You look back on those memories fondly, not with like disdain, you know what I mean? I mean, like, because all of those feelings, disdain, hate, sadness, all of those feelings are just contorted love that need to be acknowledged and healed. 918 on the timer, wish fulfillment number, and loved for what they are, you know? It's that entire energy of learning to love yourself, of learning to embrace yourself, of learning to love every aspect of yourself, who you are as a human, who you are as a soul, who you are as a heart, who you are as a mind, all right, who you are as a monster, who you are as an angel, who you are as a star, who you are as a devil. These are all aspects of self that aren't something that you need to run from or hate. These are all aspects of self that you need to learn to love about yourself, accept about yourself, and balance out within yourself. I wrote it in my journal a while ago. I talked to the devil and the angel on my shoulders, and they both agreed that they just want what's best for me. Right? And so when we all go on this journey of learning how to love ourselves, we all have a cup, right? And every single one of us, we go through things, 10-10 on the timer, that causes damage to our cups. Some people put poison in our cup. Other people literally bash our cup, shatter our cup, right? And so we have to go through the process of piecing it all together and putting ourselves back together and going back to that unconditional understanding love and pouring that into ourselves so that it can overflow out of our cup and towards the world around us, so that we can find love within the world that surrounds us, so that we can find enjoyment in the world that surrounds us again. You know what I mean? And without going through that process, without going through that journey, we would be in this process that this King of Swords is in right now, right? Because this King of Swords, they're currently, me using my lip gloss wand. That's adorable. I love myself. Anyway, this King of Swords is going through that process right now of trying to find ways to fill their cup without sealing the holes, without putting the pieces back together, 11:11 on the timer, confirmation, without actually pouring love into themselves so that it can pour out and they can see the beauty within the life that surrounds them, right? But they don't want to do that work, right? And like I said, if you're in this collective, you're either going on that journey or you have been on that journey. And so it's one of those things where we can look at this entire situation with a lot more compassion, understanding, and love than this person really can. You know what I mean? And Spirit is saying to me, like, you are like a guide to them. You have been a guide to them. So if you're wondering, like, how, like, what kind of relationship or connection that y'all were in before, that's kind of how it was. I'm hearing you were supposed to learn things from each other. I know for me and my King of Swords, I definitely learned a lot from them, all right? 11:55 on the timer. My King of Swords, I learned a lot more about glamour, about taking care of myself, about caring about myself, and learning to prioritize myself. And I learned the actual healing process, 12:12 on the timer, and how to apply those things to myself to actually heal instead of leaving all of those things or leaning on all of those things, 12:21 on the timer, as a dependency, needing to have these things or needing to do these things in order to find love. No. Leaning on these things or using these things in order to activate 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer, or activate the love I have for myself, you know, to really push up that love I have for myself. You know, I don't have to be glamorous in order to feel good about myself. I don't have to be pretty in order to feel good about myself, because I already know and believe that I am pretty and I am good and I am kind and I am compassionate and I am loving and I am sassy and I am mean and I am a bitch and I am cruel. But I also, like, those aren't things that I need to hate about myself either. There is no such thing as bad qualities. There's only such thing as poor application of qualities to context of the situation. 13:13 on the timer. That's another thing I had to learn, y'all. All right? Everything is nuanced, right? Sometimes the darker action is the most positive action to take place in a situation. There is a black dot within the yin, and there is a white dot within the yang. Okay? Sometimes the cruelest action is the positive, kind, loving thing. You know what I mean? It's all nuanced. It's all nuanced. So you have to just learn to be okay and happy with what you do and how you act in this world and the actions that you take without, like, being too hard on yourself or judging yourself for those things. And that's what this, like, that's another thing that this person is going to have to go through, because they're going to have to look back on everything that they did and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did all of that. You know how you felt 14:14 on the timer after you healed and you look back and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I acted like that. I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. Well, it's in the past. You can't do anything about it now. You can't change that part of you. You can't change those versions of you, but you can allow yourself to be who you are now, the changed version of you. You know what I mean? And you can love and accept the fact that even though those are things that you would never do now, those are things that you did with the best information that you had at the time, right? And maybe that you didn't even do the best that you could in that moment. Maybe you weren't doing the best that you could in general. Maybe you did the worst thing, but you were still trying, you know? And at the end of the day, you learned those lessons, didn't you? You took those lessons, you learned from them, and you moved on with your life, and look at where you are now, you know? There's no need to hate on somebody that's no longer here with us. 15:15 on the timer. And yeah, so yeah, the Hermit with the Seven of Swords, you have found your truth. You've admitted your truth. You've come to terms with who you are. And it took you a lot of time, a lot of solitude. Interesting. What is this? Okay, they wanted to fall out really bad. We have the Page of Cups in the reverse with the Five of Cups. Yeah, and look, it's like the broken cup imagery like I was telling you about. You know, you had to learn a lot about how to love yourself and care about yourself in order to get to this point. You had to learn a lot about what you could or could not tolerate with people. Six of Swords, you had to leave some things behind. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, because you didn't realize what you were worth or what you had until you did. And now you're coming into stability within yourself with the Four of Pentacles, Eight of Swords in the reverse. You're no longer gaslighting yourself or lying to yourself about the control and the power that you have within your own life. The Emperor, something that you are now mastering. King of Wands in the reverse with the Two of Cups in reverse. And you're rejecting anything that's coming from like an egotistical place in order to build off of, in order to create from, you know? You're not trying to do anything from a place of hurt. You're trying to do something from a place of healing. And you had to do a lot of healing to get to this point, you know? And I think this all is coming down to apply to the King of Swords with the Four of Wands, because these are lessons that they are now going through, you know? And so I guess if there are cross-watchers here, hi, hello, I just gave you a lot of great advice and a lot of great ways of thinking, things to journal about and things to think about in order to grow and in order to heal, okay? There are no there's no ill will over here. There's no bad feelings. There's no, you know what I mean? Because why would we put that in our cup? We don't want to put more poison in our cup. Our cups have been poisoned enough by other people in our lives. We're not trying to do that to ourselves for the sake of feeling a little better about what you did to us. No. 17:17 on the timer. But we are going to keep our distance. And it's something that's rightful, okay? You can't be upset with us for that, because when you have poison in your cup, or when your cup is broken and you're coming to us in hopes to pour into you for the sake of feeling fulfilled or connected with yourself, you are actively doing yourself a disservice, because you are giving your power away to us. And we don't want your power. We want you to empower yourself. We want you to heal yourself. We want you to do good for yourself. Because at the end of the day, we are not you. You are not us. You can't decide what's best for us. You can't decide what isn't good for us. And you can't decide what is right. 18:18 on the timer. You can only have the discernment of what you can do to apply your qualities in the best context. All right? Okay? You got that? You gotta be of service to yourself, and you have to start working on yourself. You have to start working on yourself. You have to start putting the pieces back together, and you have to start loving the pieces that are there. Find the beauty within the cracks. Don't you know, like, it's 2:02 p.m. on my clock. On my clock. Spirit, you're so funny. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's but you need to just be more willing to be the person that's there for yourself and to work on yourself, because nobody else is going to be doing that for you, you know? And even, like, I'm hearing, even when you go to therapy, 19:19 on the timer, even when you have a therapist, your therapist is not the person that heals you. Your therapist is the one that guides you. Therapists are just guides. They're there to help show you and help you unveil your own hurt, your own traumas, the things that you've been through. But the difference is, they're not going to sit there, coddle you, and like cradle you and try to make you feel feel better about the things that you went through. They're just going to give you actual tips and actual like things that you can do in order to work on yourself and in order to cope with the things that you've been through. They're going to give you tools, but you are the person that has to actually take the initiative of caring about yourself and using those tools and applying those things to your life in order to actually grow away from the trauma and away from the pain. I'm hearing that line from Lexa Gates' song, It Goes On. She's like, fuck, what's the point in hurting? I'ma keep on learning, getting ahead and the beat swerving. God got my back. Swing my Vans. You ain't gotta be shy. No one's looking at you, just dance. Literally. Anyways, so usually I have tissues there, but I guess not today. I guess I ran out. I don't know where I put them. Sometimes I like to do readings on my bed, which I'm going to be doing. I think I'm going to do one of those tonight. Because I got some cute new paintings. I'm so excited for you to see. They're so adorable. I love them. 2112 on the timer. But karmics, I like how this is actually a reading basically for the karmics. It's a reading for confirmation for the stars, for the high priestesses, for the people going through judgment right now, all right, for the people that are making it through the courts, and for the temperance angels out there right now, all right? It's extra confirmation that you're doing the right thing and that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. And this is confirmation for the karmics that you have places to go, people to meet, healing to do. So look forward to the life that you're about to lead, right? I am going to say that it looks like there are some people or some things within your life right now that are actively causing damage and that are actively causing a lot of hurt in your life, okay? Some people that might be pushing wounds or pushing swords further into wounds that you already have. People that are rubbing salt into the wound, you know what I mean? It would be within your best interest to start listening to that inner call and finding that inner peace. Because if people around you are disrupting your peace or disrupting your ability to feel that peace, I need you to start taking the initiative of making and maintaining that peace within your life. If people around you are constantly attacking that or making it harder for you to do, you need to set boundaries. I just did a reading that said the best course of action is strong boundaries and fun. That great reading. Go to that one. I don't know if I talked like about y'all and the things that y'all did, but like even if I did, it's probably things that still apply to you that you've experienced from other people, because that's how it works. It's a ripple effect. When hurt people do things, it's because they were hurt by other hurt people. All right, it's like when a water drop falls in a bucket, blah 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 blah, you know what I mean? It's the same effect as it goes out. That's why it's important that you learn to find stillness. Okay, you need to find stillness, even within the pain of it all. And it's interesting that it's coming out like this. The collective might not be your lover. The collective might not be the person that you're supposed to be with, 2332 on the timer. The collective might not be the person that you initially thought. Maybe they're not the coworker you initially thought. Maybe they're not the friend that you initially thought. But they are the guiding light, the star. They are the light that was meant to help guide you down this path and down this life. And I'm going to say this because I believe that the collective deserves it. Have gratitude for that. Find gratitude. All right? Find gratitude within that, because they deserve that. They deserve that much. Any last messages, Spirit? Three of Wands. You got to make a plan. You got to make a plan, all right? Y'all got to make a plan as respectfully as possible. You have to make a plan and you need to commit to that plan. 2424 on the timer. And I'm hearing it needs to be a plan that helps maintain that stillness, that maintains that peace of mind, that maintains healing, that healing frequency within your own life, and something that helps bring and spark joy within your life, okay? you need to reassess. 2442 on the timer. You need to reassess who is in your life, who is in your corner, who is gassing you up, who is pushing you, and who's fighting with you. And you need to reconsider the way that you approach yourself, the way that you treat yourself, the way that you act towards yourself. I feel like I just got hit on the head, like right here. People like are sending attacks at you every way, shape, and form they possibly can. Like, if people are smacking you upside the head, take that as confirmation that those are people that are not meant to be in your life. Point blank, period. All right? And then the rest of you that are currently on this journey right now, that have been trying to just understand whether or not you've done the right thing or if you're going down the right path, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to, love. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to. Don't even worry about it, okay? You're doing great. You're doing wonderful. You're doing things that you're supposed to be doing. And that's the most that anybody could really ask for, all right? You are such a beautiful collective of souls. I love all of you so much, and I hope to see you again soon. If you liked this reading, you should please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how it resonated. And I also have a link. Well, it's not a link, but it's my Cash App, so tips are always appreciated, but never required, y'all, okay? Just being here was enough, and I really love you guys and really appreciate you, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.